very good steal that Yijin was able to get on the Baron. Otherwise, it was practically a clean sweep by BJ.
Gonna just sort of poking their heads in, just trying to get a little bit of information. They know awards down in River, that's not really much. Are they going to be a bait, fake leash or anything? No, but they do. But there is the idea that SGB notices that Jarvan is definitely going to want to move towards the bot side. I'm interested to see how many camps get skipped to speed up the progression of this jungle. He's going to take this red buff, completely skip Raptors, so he will be on the spot side very quickly. And if they can't get this early shot from Froggy to go and maybe place that safety ward, actually he's already placed his ward, so that's going to be denied as well. And so SGB have to be a little bit careful. They should know he's pathing bot side just because anyone could predict that. But they have to be a little bit careful. They need to be aware that he could skip camps. He's Jarvan. He's not likely to play for full clear, so they're gonna try and rush that level 2, and then they need to stay back. Okay,
well, it doesn't even matter because First Blood has already been picked up, and now Yijin showing up on the bottom side. Slater is here. Shogun has Flash available, but he might just die anyway. Flashes away, but the Dragon Strike is enough, and in the end, BOB picks up the kill.
Yep, what did I say? Can't shield the right target. I mean, it didn't even get to the point where shielding the target. Taki just blew up instantly, and now this spot lane has 2 kills under their belts. They feel very comfortable right now. See, Taki just dies instantly. He used the E on Slater for damage. It's just, it's a disaster. Then Shogun's pushed up. He knows he's saving the flash as long as he can, but with that red buff, with the Nami E on top, he's just got no hope, and probably should just not have flashed ever, or flashed way earlier.
Yeah, I think if you flash straight away, you get out of Yijin's auto attack range, forces him to tower dive a bit earlier on. Maybe you can get a kill back. Either way, 2 kills for the side of Genius Esports, a very good start to the game, and a 1k goal lead for them. Hazmet, though, not someone we've really spoken about in the drafting phase on his fabled Akali, although I weirdly think Froggy is a better Akali player than Hazmet after Hazmet had a couple of games in the last split where he missed a few shuriken flips, and B&J has been spotted out, so this could effectively become a counter gang from Yijin, but he's going to flash forward. Shogun has no flash available, and it's a kill for Slater. Now they look to Taki. Taki does have a flash, but the Aqua Prison does land Slater too far away to aggress any further, and it's a 3rd kill of the game for Genius Esports.
No flash, no summoners. Yijin. I mean, Yijin's just gonna put up his tent here. You can tell BJ was like, all right, I know I've been spotted. I'm going to go clear this crab. And as soon as they saw that movement into the river, they're like, all right, we can definitely do this. We definitely have the burst. Taki cannot defend Shogun at all. He's level 3 now, so should have the whimsy and can potentially halt a bit of burst if he times that well, but right now he's just sitting there doing his best to get what experience he can, and God,
hey, look,
this bot lane is donezo.
Look, Taki has level advantage, so it's 3-win for Saigon Buffalo now. Oh, B.O.B.
Yeah, B.O.B. taking a little bit, but Taki is also feeling a little bit low right now, and you're playing double longsword into a pickaxe and a longsword, so it's you're still gonna lose out on just straight up auto trades. It feels like that ramping up passive is only gonna do so much. Decent seismic shove, but the damage isn't there yet. Only tier and boots for Froggy, so mostly just being an annoyance rather than actually being a threat for Blazers to worry about.
Something else that I feel that we should highlight, kind of about the game plan of Genius, is you've got this Lucian Nami in the bottom lane. You need to play around it early, get Slater going, but mainly just so that you can buy enough time in the game so that Blazers can get to that late game power spike on Azir, where an Azir can just take over a game entirely.
I mean, yeah, a Lucian ahead is absolutely a menace all throughout the mid game. Even a Lucian is kind of a menace in the mid game because he does have just so much damage in his kit. The only thing that really holds him back is his range, and if he's ahead, he gets to feel a little bit tankier on his base stats. He gets to be a bit more aggressive. He can outburst you and play up like that. So having these early 2 kills, PJ is going to do his absolute damnedest to try and cover his lane, let them do as much as he can. Going to make the recall. He doesn't have anything else to do, and doesn't want to waste too much time. But gives up bot lane priority. That's fine. SGB just wants to collect the wave, just wants to get some more gold onto this Jinx. But they're gonna lose the dragon for it. It's not the end of the world, being only an Ocean Soul at the start, but means getting rid of this Lucian, trying to force him out of lane through any sort of ranged poke, any advantage like that, it's not going to happen. You just can't do it through the early regen plus Nami.
Meanwhile, in the top lane is just kind of duking it out. BJ has used his opportunity of Yijin playing hard towards the bottom side to try to steal away a red buff. Coated is making his way over. There is a blast that will take BJ over the wall, but Coated will hop to follow. Weaver's wall gets Froggy out, but BJ is in a rather tricky spot, forced to flash over the wall. And in the end, BJ steals away the red buff, but loses a flash, and Genius have to be careful. BJ taking a lot of damage, but this is a 3v2. Blazes might want the kill anyway. Shurima Shuffle drop down, but Blazes just gets popped. Yijin taking the scuttle crab while this was all unfolding, and Coated just sitting and watching, refusing to engage.
Miscommunication. They were, I suppose, Coated had blown his ultimate, so was a little bit wasn't going to be able to do too much, but they couldn't go for the shuffle because of the unraveled earth. Just so here, if Blazes goes for it early, you can probably pick it up, but once that comes out, you definitely can't. But he wants to push them away with the ultimate, which leaves him standing completely still, which lets him get knocked in by the seismic shove, and just miscommunication, just uncertainty, hesitancy on what they wanted to do, and Blazes just winds up caught out in the wrong spot.
And that is what you call a bit of an oopsie in the VCS. Blazes gifting a free kill to Saigon Buffalo and to BJ. But Yijin, though, still expecting him to be playing around this bottom side. Actually, right now we're seeing Slader and BOB making their way towards the mid lane. Cataclysm locking Froggy down in place. BOB here as well. Seismic Shove puts Yijin under tower, but Froggy somehow escapes.
The ghost coming in real clutch for him. Able to scooch out of range. No auto attacks to come on through. And yeah, they rotate the bot lane. It's okay for them. They know they can't really provide too much in this bot side against a Jinx just sort of farming under tower. Don't really want to risk that dive, so rotate up, absolutely secure this top side Rift Herald, and they get to catch the wave comfortably. They don't lose anything besides maybe a wave. I don't even think that, so it's just everything's going fairly well for GE. They should have picked up a extra kill, perhaps. They should have not given up that kill on Blazes, but these are small mistakes, not really anything you're hyper concerned about in terms of this game, and just gonna keep on going, keep on doing what they're doing.
The Genius still have full control over this early game. They're sporting a 1k goal lead. Yijin has Rift Herald, and you can see on the minimap he is working his way towards the bottom side. So is BJ looking to make the counter gank, the defensive gank, but against this 3-man unit of Genius, I don't think BJ is going to be able to accomplish too much.
You just see Jinx farming with Zap. It's just sad. Does not want to step anywhere to this wave. So it's just going to be slowly pushed in. It's going to be slowly chipped away. And BJ's trying to do his best to spot Yijin out early. We'll find him on the Tribrush. With a roam down from Blazes as well, hovering towards that in that fog of war, should be spotted, but they don't feel comfortable. Huge bubble!
Drop down the tidal wave as well. Froggy's making his way over. This will be a 4v3. The Saigon Buffalo do engage, but they decide against it. They just look to pick up the tower place, look to get more gold, and refuse to get too overly aggressive.
Yeah, with BJ in the area, they don't want to go for the big dive with that Crescent Guard, that extra CC, the ability to really just turn it around. So playing safe, just playing for plates, and they have pretty much full control of this bot side. Froggy is not able to get the priority against Blazes. Oh, good work onto the Yijin.
Flag and drag cancel. Super Mega Death Rocket does work. Wind becomes lightning. Yijin, the fancy footwork. Sign yourself up to Britain's Got Talent or Vietnam's Got Talent, because that was nutty.
Froggy flashes and misses the worked ground Q. Ah, it's sad, but... And then misses the zap as well, and now Shogun is...
Slater? Slater?
Shogun.
That's not legal.
Shogun, what are you doing, mate? You can't go near that. You can't go near them. There's a restraining order. It says if you go near them, you die.
Eugene is dead this time. Eugene is dead this time. Okay, Froggy gets the kill. No shutdown, though. And this might mean that Cody's dead as well. Blazes has a teleport. Will he invest it? He will. Maybe a little bit late. Cody flashing away. BJ going to take another tower shot. Just about survives. Blazes on the unraveled earth. Can't dash towards BJ.
Yeah, BJ not quite as tanky as he would like. Now Houseman's lurking. He wants to try and interrupt a recall, but he's not going to find it. He's going to find a couple of Sand Soldiers instead, but... Oh, man. Across the map, like, SGB are trying to find opportunities on the top side because they know bot lane is just hard lost. Shogun is doesn't even have his mythic, and Slater is almost ready with his rapid fire cannon. I mean, it's just so much damage, so far ahead is this Lucian that he's just going to be able to tear apart team fights, tear apart individuals if he catches them out. And with this complete control on bot and mid side, that means Dragon just belongs to the side of GE, and SGB are probably not going to contest until it's Soul.
This game has been very fun so far. There's been a few great moments. Yijin somehow escaping away from Froggy, then Slater investing a flash, Gale Force, relentless pursuit, everything to get a solo kill onto Shogun. Well, it wasn't a solo kill. I think he got a bit of a buff from BOB.
It's a Lucian. Lucian never goes far enough away from his Nami to get a solo kill. But Cody might be in a bit of trouble.
He does have an R ult, will send BJ away, but dashes right back in with the audacious charge. So Super Mega Death Rocket doesn't land, but not needed as Hazmed picks up the kill.
Yeah, you're wishing it did land just so you can get anything onto your Jinx, and three-man top lane means everyone on GE gets to just go and push down this mid lane tower. Gonna pick up a few plates. This last one will survive, but now Beob's hunting for a bubble. Not gonna find it.
Hunting will not land it. We'll get a ward though instead. So there you go. Slater though, tagged by the wind, becomes lightning, audacious target to follow up, but the cleanse will be enough to keep Slater alive. Yijin going in with the cataclysm, now flashing away. In goes Blazes, shooting a shuffle, landing onto BJ. 1-for-1. No, BJ actually surviving. Could look to go in onto BOB, but decides against it. Just a one kill for Saigon Buffalo.
BJ able to survive so damn long between the Wild Growth and the Crescent Guard. He's able to pick up Blazes as well. Lots of work done. They come out winning that handily. So much blow and cleanse, flash on Blazes as well. Yijin's flash. Just a lot of taken out from the side of GE, and SGB are finding little avenues back into it. They are not saying... they're basically just... They're not giving up. They're not rolling over quite yet.
And that's just what happens when you burst out Slater at the start of the fight and Slater can't get involved. That Lucian, who is so fed, can't get any damage down. BJ, deceptively tanky, coated, trying to go in onto Froggy, but the seismic shove enough to dissuade the Gnar from aggressing further.
Yeah. Hopping over the unraveled earth meant he couldn't immediately follow up with his own CC, and so he just ends up getting pushed away by the seismic.
Oh, BOB. You went for the Hillisang play. I respect that. I respect that.
Mate, you are a Nami.
Look, BOB's just been watching Hillisang plays, and he has tried to stop back. I fully respect the Hillisang attempts there. Coated, though, that's not a Hillisang play. That's just a death, and ends up burning to a red buff Weaver's Wall in the mid lane as Genius Esports just look for this outer tower. Surely they're going to get it. They're not taking the tower down. Flag and drag Yijin going in, but he's just going to take tower shots himself. And Genius get nothing out of this. And now BJ coming in from the flank. but Genius Esports able to work their way away.
Froggy playing this defense so well. He has so much wave clear. Now he has to be careful. Slater's just
Culling.
pops him.
Yeah, culling into the Gale Force. Now Eugene going in with the Cataclysm, but he's just going to be eating tower shots and will fall. I don't think that was a play from Eugene. In the end, it's 2 for 1 for Saigon Buffalo.
Yeah, didn't respect the wild growth. There is enough damage on Shogun now to eat through this Jarvan. But now it's sort of back to bot lanes. Everything else everyone else has been removed one way or another from the mid lane. So they will pretty much guarantee get this tower. I would be amazed if they didn't, but traded for a topside tower, traded for a Rift Herald and a few kills back and forth. It's overall gold positive for the side of SGB, and it's only within about 2k and a bit. That seismic shove had no business landing, and if that rock hadn't fallen just slightly short, Slater probably ends up getting removed from the fight, has to back away, and it's just a nice easy, and the play stops there. But as it is, Froggy steps a little bit forward, and Slater just goes all in to pick him up. Blazers gets completely knocked out, not paying attention to this worked around. And Eugen just, I don't know, felt like he could go in, but with BJ flying the other way, he couldn't get the follow-up he required, and it just meant that it wound up giving his life while BJ goes in and assassinates Blazers.
Eugen started this game off so well, but it feels like we're going back to, I hate to say it, but that series between Genius and Gam where it was just Slater 1v9ing or attempting to 1v9 against Gam. I don't think he was on the Lucian in that game. I think he was on, I want to say Zeri.
He was on Zeri, yeah.
And he's doing that on a Lucian now, 4-0. Eventually, though, Blazes will get strong. The question is, will this game last long enough for that Azir to get to its strong item power spikes?
Yeah, the worry is, by the time Blazes get strong, in theory, so has Shogun. And they're trading yet another dragon. They're not going to contest that at all, but just trying to funnel gold onto Hasmed. And if Hasmed gets fed, Slater has to worry. And if Hasmed gets fed and can just start removing Slater, it feels like the rest of the team fight should feel pretty comfortable for the side of SGB. I don't expect too much follow-up on that Shuriken flip, considering the Mega Narbar. But as it is, full control of the top side for Hasmed. But in trade, this bot side belongs to Genius Esports. Look at all that vision.
Absolutely, so much vision control. So many zombie wards as well. That's just meaning that bushes are double stacked. Thank you very much for that, observers, highlighting Saigon Buffalo's lack of ability to see in the bottom side jungle. And all the while, Genius just continuing to siege in the mid lane and the bottom lane, while Kota just tries to absorb this pressure from Hasmed in the top lane.
Yeah, I mean, you're almost feeling at this point, Kota should just be trying to find that freeze and accept that you're pretty much... Oh, okay.
Winter Blazes is not back. I think it's safe to say right now.
Yeah, Hasmed has left topside. He's gotten 2 towers. He had 2 kills. Now he's got 3.
I want to see that again, because Blazes and Genius had so much vision on the bottom side of the map. We were just highlighting it. How do you get caught out? How does Hasmed sneak up on you like that? It's baffling to me, and I would like to see that on a replay.
Yeah, I feel like they just walked at him and he got caught on a seismic shove. And then he tries to knock it back, but it just doesn't come together. And well, now they've decided to flip Hasmed to the spot side. They believe this is now the strongest side of the map for SGB. But Baron is now on the menu, so GE probably feeling like they wanted to switch it up, move to the top side regardless. And it's just going to be a little bit of a whole move the vision for the side of GE. They need to get control of this. And yeah, he's just hanging out here. Where does Hasmed come from?
Oh no.
He's just caught shopping. Yeah, just caught shopping, not checking his map.
Oh,
you can't do this, mate.
You
just can't do this, mate.
That is a bit of an iffy one, I think it is safe to say, as this time they catch BJ with the the slide and glide.
Here it
However,
comes.
being
Weaver's Wall.
surprisingly tanky. Harsmed just going in onto Slater. The culling is enough to pull one kill back. 1-for-1 top laner for mid laner. BOB solo. Same for Coated. Saigon Buffalo have definitely won this one in terms of how much health they all have at the end of this fight.
Yeah, so much health. BJ getting completely thrown into it, but being able to survive for so long with his ultimate. A little bit of regen as well, and he finds the when becomes lightning.
Slater way too aggressive, but in goes Coty, finds a 3-man Gnarl, but there's just no more damage left for the side of Genius Esports. Kirby is here as well. Shogun's going to end up falling. Yijin now chasing onto Froggy. Not quite enough damage to the shield, enough, but the Aqua Prison lands. And now Yijin chases onto Taki, a teleport into the mid lane. And in the end, Slater's sacrifice ends up working off fantastically for Genius.
Coded saves that whole play, turns it around, just has enough damage to chunk him out so low that the damage gets finished off by Yijin. Now that's everyone dead. Can Harsmed make it in time? Taki can drop a ward, but
Taki 1v3.
Harsmed's already here, not close enough. Oh no, Harsmed, he can easily get behind.
Harsmed gets one. He's in the Twilight Shroud. Now he's looking for Yijin. A good ultimate. Goes golden. Yijin forced it back away from the Baron. Almost walks into the Mega Death Rocket. Blaze gets skill onto Harsmed. But critically for Saigon Buffalo, they stop the Baron.
Yeah, 1-for-1 Baron stop. That's good enough for Harsmed. Almost got Yijin, but just misses that second perfect execution. That would have been absolutely the kill onto Yijin and would have been an absolute fantastic play. But as it is, it's just good enough. Only 2k between the teams. It's so very damn close, but in a minute, a dragon is up. It is Soul Point, and SGB actually has to fight this. Harsmed's still dead. B-Up is back up because his cooldowns are so... his death times are so low because of the level difference. He's just gonna die here. Harsmed can't land the second execution onto Yijin. Completely whiffs it. And then it's just no hope from there on. The buys some time with the stopwatch, which pretty much only just confirms that we can't restart the Baron. The rest of SGB will be here. Now it's time for the Baron. Teleport on Harsmed, but he hasn't
break as well.
Agent.
No teleports for the side of Genius, and Harsmed is already here at the Drake. This is Mountain Soul for Genius, which will be really big for the likes of Coated and for Yijin, especially against so much of that burst that Harsmed has, the poke from Froggy as well. Saigon Buffalo are going to be starting up the Drake. Weaver's Wall will cut off a few members of Genius away from this Drake, but in goes Yijin, not enough to steal it away, and it is ended up secured by Froggy. Coated has already fallen, and Saigon Buffalo are looking for more. Genius are forced to retreat in a 4v5. Harsmed lands a shuriken flip, could look to go on. Yijin will indeed go in onto Emperor's Divide, onto BJ. Will stop Saigon Buffalo from going any further, and all the while, that will just be Slater backing in a brush. So this is a 3v5 now if Saigon Buffalo find a way to engage.
Slater's going to sneak out on the backside, and that is a big win for the side of SGB. All these little bits of extra resistances will help a lot just to deny that big burst that comes out of Slater, to deny what that Lucian is there to do, to instantly remove someone from the fight. And we're starting to see the battle lines are just a bit too much for this Lucian. Weaver's walking by all this space, and then the range advantage comes in. Just they can't get Slater onto it. He actually goes all in onto Harsmed and can't find him on the back end either, so it just ends up looking a little bit silly. And I don't know why Slater ends up going this way, but he does, and then they just go, yeah, ignore him, even though he's completely cut off, isolated from the team, and would probably have just been a freebie. But overall, 1-for-0, dragon in the pockets for SGB. They're feeling happy. They have stalled it out, and they can keep getting this Jinx even more gold.
This game continuing to sort out, continuing to scale. Genius 3 minutes away from Mountain Soul now, and then a further 5 minutes to Elder. And sadly for Yijin, this time he wasn't able to steal away the Mountain Drake in the end. Froggy was the one who secured the Drake. Just taking a quick look at items. Shogun on just 2 items. Blazes not even having completed his second item yet. This Azir is so far behind the curve.
Yeah, he's really feeling the pain right now. Top lane, very even, two apiece in items, but yeah, just only that one item available for the side of of the side of Blazers. Froggy forced to flash, ultimate's burned. This is a lot blown up, and GE can definitely use this to turn to the Baron and try and force a fight that will definitely be in their favor now with all these tools taken off from the side of SGB.
Hazmed able to get an out of tower, but will have to TP, and once he TPs, there won't be any more teleports available for Saigon Buffalo. And there is that teleport being used. Tidal Wave to try to sway Saigon Buffalo. Can BJ go in? He goes in, but he doesn't steal it away in the end. Secured by Coated. Yijin waiting for the flag and drag to get over the wall, but in the end has to flash because it's not off at cooldown. And Genius Esports will make their retreat. All 5 members with a purple buff.
SGB playing it very slow, very cautiously. Didn't feel comfortable approaching the pit in case there was a brush being set up, but as it were, they just end up getting way too late. BJ does not go in. He ends up flashing over the wall, but it's just way too late. Did not have any sort of vision down to check the health, and just it's a miracle he managed to get out, and he just has to.
BJ,
now they have to weather this.
BJ is surprisingly tanky, or Xin Zhao's are deceptively tanky, especially when you've got a Sterex as well. Now a Gore Drinker, Stopwatch is going to take a lot to be able to get through that Xin Zhao's health bar.
Yeah, it's just interesting. It's just interesting because he didn't have that ultimate when he went for the Baron steal, as it had been blown earlier, and God, that damage from Slater, 3 items, Infinity Edge complete, just absolutely chunking out BJ. He's going to be able to heal off Wolves, but this Baron it's just so threatening. They don't have the best wave clear ever. They can maybe catch out Yijin, but steps the seismic shove. And it's just going to be
flag and drag his way out. Yeah. Slater fishing, looking for a potential play, but don't forget, it is Genius who have the Baron buff, so they are able to play this 1-4 split push game with Coty just sitting in the top lane, and that inner tower already taking a whole bunch of damage, but now Hazmed able to answer his pushing. Yijin, though, might be caught out here. I don't know if he can flag drag. He's been polymorphed. He's going to go in with a Cataclysm. Healed up. The culling going to do work, but not quite enough. BJ just stopping Genius from going any further. Now Blaze is down to half health and forced to retreat. Saigon Buffalo find a kill, and that's pretty much going to stop Genius's Baron push.
It's going to stop it for now, for sure. The top side was just a bit of a mess because they can't actually get through
it. Blazes?
Yeah, Blazes is here. There's no wave. No one went back to catch it. Drake is up in 10 seconds. Yeah, you're right. And Yijin is still down, so this should be an advantage to the side of SGB, but G are going to fight it. They are not going to want BJ getting close if they spot him on vision. But BJ knows where they are. He has to try and get in. No flash. Can't get over the wall. Coted's in the way.
Coted trying to stop BJ getting into the pit, but he's not going to be able to do so. There comes the audacious charge. And Genius, they're just forced to walk away from the mountain. Saigon Buffalo get another Drake. And Genius are going to have to wait another 5 minutes before they can even attempt for the Mountain Soul.
Yeah, and with that, that's the rest of their Baron gone. It probably would have been just worth it to say, we don't have a jungler.
We die.
Oh, Hazmed?
Hazmed somehow survives. Weaver's Wall, that's going to cut BOB away from Slater. Teleport in from Coated. Genius want this push. Genius want that inner tower, but they don't really have the wave just yet. They're going to have to wait a little bit. However, Hazmed having to back, Genius should just be able to tank this tower and pick up their first inner tower of the game and now make their way up topside and look for their second.
Yeah, they can sort of do the same thing. They wanted to fight for that. They could have taken those in the trade for that dragon, but in the end they realized they're strong enough that they can just take them anyway. Only 2k gold between the teams. The dragons are evening up as well, but just the damage that comes out of this Lucian, the burst potential, no real big tank to stand in front and just absorb it. If BJ doesn't have his ultimate, this Lucian is just so damn scary to work with. And it needs to be Hazmed getting the drop on Slater, but right now Slater's been the one calling the shots, getting the drop on everybody else. But if they get on top of him...
The issue I feel right now for Genius Esports is they've gone through the point where Slater was strong, where Slater was, the one to be fearing on the map. Now we're at a point where Hazmed has 3.5 items, nearly 4 items, that Void Staff getting close to being completed, and Shogun has 3.5 items completed and is doing more damage than Slater, while Blazes just has 2 items. So I feel that if Genius can last, a another 5 or so minutes, wait until Blazes gets a third item. Maybe they can start to match the damage that Shogun's Jinx is outputting, but until then, Genius are just on the back foot.
The thing is, from what we've been seeing over the past few minutes, that Slater is just, he's still pumping out significant damage. I mean, if he finds that drop onto someone, he can remove them from the fight. That's just the issue. If they can draw battle lines, if they can use a Weaver's Wall to keep him a little bit at bay, not let him get close enough to really dish out those autos, then yeah, it's a definite win for the side of SGB, it feels like. But now, there comes the engage.
Cataclysm, tower's going to fall. No teleport. Froggy, though, able to get away. Tidal Wave will stop BJ from being able to get on top of Yijin. And in the end, Genius utilize a few ults. They get a tower. They back away. It feels like they haven't really gotten much, considering how much they just threw into trying to secure that kill.
Yeah, but they know there's still 30 seconds till this Baron, until an objective becomes worthwhile. 2 minutes till Dragon as well. They should have everything coming back up by then, as well as a couple of GAs under their belt. It fully completed, you would imagine. You would expect, though. It actually looks like Yijin's going to stop off and pick up the Force of Nature first. So we'll be tanky. We'll be a little bit healthier up against Froggy for sure. But right now, just can't quite do anything. And now GE just bully their way in towards this Dragon Pit. They're gonna pick up this Griff Scuttler and have pretty comfortable vision. So now that pretty much denies a start from the side of SGB. They can't try and burn it down and bait GE towards them. Well,
Another big item. Another big item picked up by Blazes as well. Banshees fail. 3 items now on the Azir, and that Banshees is going to stop a few of those spells. Stops Froggy from being able to catch Blazes out. Stops Harsmed as well from being able to deal as much damage as he was previously. Yijin has to be careful. He could just get fully aggressed on here.
Aggressive. Oh, he goes too far.
He goes in, Cataclysm, Yijin's just going to absolutely pop it. In comes Blazes, he does work onto Taki, but not quite enough, and Shogun just free fires. Blazes is down, Harsmed over the wall, and Harsmed will survive now. 4v3, Coated is the focus for Saigon Buffalo, and Coated is going to get ripped to shreds. Jumps over the wall, BJ will follow, and Coated will surely die. Coated looking to try to get something back, but he's unable to do so, and now Saigon Buffalo just turned towards the Baron. Nasher, B.O.B. and Slater.
Low health bar, Slater.
Slater's going in, Shogun will fall, Slater's able to get out and actually will survive. The Hex Drinker is so massive for Slater. Slater take a bow, that was absolutely incredible, but Saigon Buffalo aren't done yet. They turn back towards the Nasher.
He's going to heal off the wave and then maybe try again. Culling is still a while away, but he can definitely pick up 1. He can maybe pick up 2. BJ, you can't back there against Slater.
Froggy zoning Slater away. Does Slater want to go in? Does he risk his life to get this kill onto BJ? So much damage, but not quite enough. When is that culling up? A few seconds time. B.O.B. and Slater. Slater, he really wants to go into that brush, but he can't. No vision. Forced to back away. Saigon Buffalo, they get the Baron.
The Dragon has come up. He's bought so much time. SGP cannot collapse onto it, so they will be traded for this soul. It's not quite the same trade as it was in that game 1 of Baron for Elder, but it's still a huge bonus for the side of GE. They are going to feel so much tankier right now. Froggy is going to start tickling, and Yijin, he goes over the wall. He's not expecting all of SGB to be waiting for him. Then BJ kind of...
Harsmed survives.
That's
so clutch.
The Baron didn't get aggroed at all, and Coated, he tries his best, but he ends up getting stunned over the by jumping over the wall with the E on the ground. So he ends up feeling a little bit silly, getting a little bit blasted there, and so clutch from Slater to knock out Shogun, slow down the Baron, keep the harassment campaign going. That SGB, they have to back off very timidly towards the top side and gives open this Dragon Soul. Now it's Baron, so map tempo should belong to SGB and they will be able to pick up a couple of towers. But it's
I do have a question. Is Genius getting that Drake good or bad? Because it means that the Elder is now in 5 minutes time, and if they had left it, they would have had another 5 minutes to try to scale before having what could be a game-ending teamfight at the Elder Drake.
I feel you're not necessarily waiting on Blazes. I feel at this point you're just trying to fight as best you can. I don't know. I feel having this soul is just more important, reducing the opportunity for SGB to get to steal away a soul to get their defenses, because a 4-stack Mountain Soul is just so much resistances, so much shielding that it makes Slater feel a little bit worthless. Cutting off that access to free stats is just so important, and now it's SGB, now it's GE that are harder to pick, and they've overstepped before. They've been picked off. It lets Yijin play that hyper aggressive style he's been doing throughout the series, just like this.
Here comes the Weaver's Wall. The pick onto BJ might turn into a 5v5 fight, but BJ, again, so tanky. Hazmed showing up, now going in onto Yijin, but there's a gonna get through Hazmed. Goes golden. Might be enough to keep Hazmed alive. Tidal Wave drop down. Super Mega Death Rocket onto Blazes. Both teams will back away from one another. No kills for either side.
Being able to keep Slater outside that Crescent Guard means BJ is so tanky. He survives for so long. Unfortunately, Hazmed is not, and he gets absolutely removed from the fight. Oh, but that is a deep, deep teleport, but they read it. G knows exactly where he is.
Coated, hopping over the wall. Hazmed's teleport could have been amazing. It could be terrible because Saigon Buffalo can't follow on Hazmed. They knocked over the wall. And Hazmed, he rides the Emperor's Divide to safety. How has he survived that? He's one lucky boy.
That could have been fantastic. It was read by Gian that played it extremely well, but Hazmed manages to find the execution out. However, that is Hazmed fully removed from all this entire skirmish. He's been chunked out so low twice. Can't teleport back in this time. So he's going to have to make the long way around. The river is so well watered that the flank, it'll be long and it will definitely be on vision. Unfortunately, the wave's just not quite there for GE, and they will back away very happily. They got the teleport. Can
I just say, and I'm trying not to flame, but Slater, I don't care if Saigon Buffalo win this game. Slater is the MVP of this game. He has played incredibly well. So has BJ. Don't get me wrong. BJ has been fantastic all series long. If Saigon Buffalo win this game, Blazes is to thank, because Blazes he's not had his best game, and I'm including Spring in this, and he had some pretty bad games in Spring.
Yeah, it's not looking pretty good. He's sitting at that 1-6-1 scoreline. It's feeling very bad. He's got that Banshee's third. He's only on 3 items. He's got 300 CS and 3 items. It just does not feel any good right there. Like, you should definitely have more items at that point, it feels like. But no, he's just not been able to be involved with anything. 11 kills. He's only had involvement in 2 of them.
The thing is, Froggy has less CS, same number of kills, has more items. So
now,
yeah,
look, you can say Froggy has built a little bit cheaper items in terms of compared to that Shadow Flame, which is a heavy investment, but
also Morello.
Sure. Yeah, look, the Morello's is a little bit interesting. There's enough healing, I think, to justify it. Especially since the changes have come in and it makes it a pretty okay item on its own merits. But I don't know. I think you were probably better off just waiting for Taki to build it, or a Thornmail on BJ, maybe Hazmed with I don't know. You have lots of
Taki get Chemtech Future Fire. Either way, back to the game. Baron up, 4 seconds time. Both teams posturing over it. Coated making his way up from the bot side river as Blaze is fishing for a play. Culling burnt by Slater.
That is Culling burnt, so that's going to be GE just saying, alright, we can't really make our way into that fight, just going to have to try and push this, but the Weaver's Wall will cut them off, and that will stall that out. Sundusk will go down, and that'll force SGB to be a little bit more focused on their mid lane, because they don't want their wave being held up that early, that close to their base, especially if Yijin and Blazers are going to try and 2-man it. Feels like
Saigon Buffalo might have a priority in... Exactly, it's what you want, Baron or Elder. Genius tried to do a 2-man Baron attempt. But Saigon Buffalo have called the bluff, and now they've started on the Elder.
You have to watch Coda. That rage bar is very, very well built up. You have to be very careful. Blazers, oh god. Here comes the flank.
This is his chance for redemption. When does he go in? He goes
There it
in!
is.
He gets a 4-man slide and glide! Shogun's gonna get burnt down. The Guardian Angel gets popped. And Taki will fall. BJ going into the backline,
There's
trying to get
Shogun.
onto the ears. Going to be able to get the kill. But now BJ aggressed on himself, trying to get on top of the illusion, but not going to be able to get the kill. Harsman fighting with BOB in the Elder Drake. Flying and drag in from Yijin. Harsman goes golden. Aqua Prison in. Yijin gets a kill onto Harsman. Froggy on the run. Froggy will survive, but it is Genius Esports who win the fight. And Genius Esports get the Elder Drake.
Now Froggy is going to be a little bit of a nuisance, but you just look how low he is. Biob just needs to land that auto attack. They just need to clean him up. They just need to push that wave down mid. Honestly, you don't even necessarily want to kill him. I mean, they're going to. But now you can just run it down. You can just end the game off this, I feel. Okay, maybe not 20 seconds on Shogun. There's not quite enough time with the wave being where it is, but Baron for sure. That whole team fight, it comes together for GE. They just cleaned it up, and from here, it feels like SGB, they should be looking towards Game 3, just shaking their heads, trying to figure out what they're going to do.
I'm going to be honest, Bobby. I don't feel like this game is over just yet. Sure, that's an Elder, but the base is still standing for the side of Saigon Buffalo. Here's a replay as to how the fight all kicked off.
Catches both major threats, BJ and Shogun in that pit, into the ultimate, into the Streamer Shuffle. It's just so clean. Nothing Shogun can really do. And just so much damage. Hasmed can't even get on top of the support and kill him. This Akali has been pretty much worthless come these team fight stages. He's just getting bursted out so quickly, can't find any damage. And it's just so falling apart. And then, yeah, Froggy does his best to cut the wave and buy time so the game doesn't end. But you've got Baron, they've got Elder, and they've got a whole wave to work with. That tower is just gone. Rocket does nothing.
Stand for Saigon Buffalo, 5 members strong of GE. Baron empowered minions. Weaver's Wall to buy some time. They want to let this Elder buff end before they fight. I think the Elder buff might have already ended.
No, it's still going. That's just not they're just not going to have enough time, it feels.
Look at the culling on Shogun. Taki popped. 4v5. Genius waiting for the next minion wave. One Nexus Tower already down to half health. Look at Hasmed on the flank. Who does he want to go for? Is he looking for Blazes? Is he looking for Slater? He has to make his decision. Shuriken Flip lands. He's on to Cody, but Cody just tanking up all of the damage as the rest of Genius just focused onto the next tower. It goes Golem, but he's just going to die as soon as he comes out of stasis. In goes Yijin with the Cataclysm. They land the Aqua Prison. Blazes gets one, and it's just Froggy left standing. Genius Esports, they wipe Saigon Buffalo, and they take us to Game 3.
And, well, this was pretty much the picture-perfect game of what